Okay, here we go. Let me ask you a question. Should we buy a gun as preparation for the 7-year tribulation? I would be willing to bet that the worldwide Christian community would be split on this topic almost 50-50, pro-gun or against gun, or maybe even 60-40 against buying a gun, with 40% wanting to buy a gun, believing we should buy a gun. I know of Christians who teach that you should not buy a gun, and they're going to use scriptures against you, and they're going to preach to you and write their articles. And I know of Christians who teach you should buy a gun, and they have their scriptures, and they're going to preach that to you and write their articles. So what can we do with this topic? Well, let me tell you what we should start with. Number one, we got to stop teaching formulas. A formula is this: God always does this. God always says that. God always commands you do this. God always says don't do that. You got to stop preaching formulas. You got to stop teaching formulas, because when you do that, you're putting God in a little tiny box in your mind. And God doesn't live in a box. God doesn't want to be in your box, and God refuses to be a part of this type of teaching formulas. The Christians who teach you should buy a gun are preaching a formula of God, and the Christians who teach you should not buy a gun are preaching a formula by saying God forbids guns, where the other people say God says you should buy a gun because Jesus said go out and buy a sword. We got to stop teaching formulas. Now, what can we do on the topic of should we buy a gun for the 7-year tribulation? This is so simple. Let me share it with you. I want you to get one-on-one private time with Jesus. One-on-one time with him in quiet, and ask him point blank, does he want you to get a gun for self-defense or not? That is the answer God has given me, and that is the answer God wants me to give you. Stop listening to what people say. This is a huge problem that the church has. We got to stop listening to other Christians and start listening to God and his Christ. For you, God might tell you to get a gun for self-defense. But for your mom or dad, or for me, God might tell me, don't buy a gun, Garrett. Now, I'm not saying God has told me that. I'm not saying that at all. So, should we buy a gun for the 7-year tribulation to get ready? The answer is, get some one-on-one time with Jesus and find out what he wants you to do. And once he commands you to do one or the other, find peace about it, and don't worry about what other Christians say to you. Don't worry. Just smile at them. And the reason why you're smiling when they're preaching to you and commanding you and using formulas down your throat, you are smiling because you heard directly from the Master of the universe. Yes, you heard directly from God's Son because you spent time with him.